We're going to have a little look at some of the things that we should really consider when we are deciding on moving to Jamaica.
Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Hello, Wagwan, pick up yourself, whether you're here or you're abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. I know I've spoken about some in a previous video, but here are some that I want to really highlight for you to take consideration to, because these are some of the things that are important. And the first one that I would want to add to my list is the mobility, so being able to move around. Now, if you live in the corporate area, so if you're going to be planning to move and live in the metropolitan areas of Jamaica, so the Portmore and parts of Kingston and St. Andrew, then moving around will be quite good if you don't have a vehicle of your own, because there is a bus network there that people are able to get around on, and easy access to Uber and other forms of taxi services of that same sort. If you're moving to other parts of the country, you are reliant on the taxi network that are run by local people who set up taxi operating as a business, and they become the means of transport. Now, these taxi services are well organized groups. They have associations and they operate with some level of formality and consistency in terms of fair pricing and things like those. The challenges you have with the taxi service is like this. They run like London buses. You're waiting for long periods of time, and then a couple of them comes and you have surplus to choose from. And then you find that this other bit that happens is that depending on the weather, if it rains, it might become difficult to get a taxi. And in the evenings, say after 6 o'clock, it can prove challenging to get taxis, because most of them have decided that that's the end of their day because they've been out from rather early in the morning. And so it becomes a challenge at that point for you to get taxis. So commuting when you live in areas that are outside requires you to have contact with taxi drivers so that you can get to where you want to go. The alternative here for long distance, we have a shuttle or coach service which is called Knutsford Express, and from what I've heard from many people who've tried to get on, there are availabilities. However, sometimes they're not very close to each other, so and the locations to which they go sometimes might be a challenge, because then you need to get another vehicle to get you to where you actually want to go in terms of the town or the city center. The prices that people have reported for tickets can be very expensive, and in comparison to other alternatives. And the other day we wanted to go somewhere, and that was one of the options I wanted to look at, and it would have proven to be a lot more expensive than if we had decided as a group that we were going to rent a vehicle and go to where we want to go. So that's another option that you have if you drive, that you can rent a vehicle for a day or more and use that to go to wherever you want to go as a commute. So that's something to think about if you're coming back and you're not going to be buying a vehicle. The second part of this that I wanted to bring to your attention as well is accessibility to information and to organizations. You can find that you go onto Google and you might be able to find some information when you Google here. And so you can find telephone numbers, but you might call those companies and you find that the telephone number that's listed there as theirs cannot be reached for whatever reason. In other cases, you find that you call them and they ring out and either go to voicemail or the call just times out altogether. And that becomes a bother and a problem, because you have to find other means of being able to contact or communicate with those organizations. And oftentimes it requires you literally going in, because emailing is another issue. Because some of the companies, you email them and you never hear back. And there are others where when you email them, they respond and they might tell you that they will be getting back to you within 30 days or so, and you might not hear back. You have to follow up. So that's another concern, in the fact that you have to constantly follow up to get a resolution, which can take you a lot of time and can become frustrating for people who are used to contacting companies and getting their issues resolved rather rapidly. And so that's part of the system to understand. Now, in terms of technology, Jamaica is growing out and building its technology platform, and companies are trying to do that, especially companies that are often front-facing. And so you find that a lot of companies have apps that you can use, and you become find that you become a person who have app overload, because you have so many of them that you have access to downloading onto your device to use, and oftentimes you're only going to be using them once for the month. And so that's one avenue. You find that some of these organizations also have websites, and you can go onto those websites and do different things that you want to get done. Majority of places, however, especially schools and other government organizations, don't have websites. So some of the schools don't have websites, and others who do don't often update them. So you go on and you might find that you're looking for something, some information, and it was posted 2-3 years ago. So you've got to be aware of that too. So although we try to make Google our friend here to find out information and discover things, it's limited in the amount of information it can provide you because of the amount of information that is made available. Because if the organizations don't have websites and the websites aren't updated, then of course it's going to impact on the information that you're going to then be able to receive. So that's something to keep in mind, and understand that it becomes a process where you need to do due diligence to follow up and to get the information that you absolutely need from the different organizations. And then, as I have said previously, plan in enough time to need to get whatever it is that you need to get done. Of course, I appreciate that people who are used to more timely outcomes can become frustrated by this, and therefore it's something that you need to think about, and it requires planning, thorough planning in advance, knowing what you're going to need, when you're going to need it, and the time scale that you know that it's going to take, and double it, and then go to work at trying to see how you can get those bits of information in due time so you can have them when you need them. Number 3 on that list is currency arbitrage. So what I mean by that is when you transfer your currency, what's the value going to be like for your use in Jamaica? And then to add to that is, how are you going to get that currency to you? Because that's important to take stock of, because the banks tend to charge significantly high fees if people are sending money directly to you through your bank account. So you need to have a think about how you're going to get that money to you at the points in time when you need to get it, and try and see how you can make resolutions in that way. Fourth thing that I would think about is my social network. Now, what you want to think about is the social network infrastructure that you're going to be operating in when you return to Jamaica. Whether you are returning on your own, returning with a spouse, or returning with children, your social network is going to be important, because you want to be able to be around people who are like-minded as you are, and being an environment where you're interacting with people who you can feel safe around, and in an environment where you can also feel safe. That includes people who you can trust, who you know are trustworthy, who have good integrity, and therefore are people that you can feel confident with interacting with. These should also be characteristics that you yourself showcase. The fifth thing that I would want to say you should think about is the cost involved in each section of the links in the chain of your return. So what are the cost implications? And once you've worked those cost implications out, you need to make sure that you put in a contingency plan for unexpected expenses that you will inevitably experience. Now, crime continues to be a point of reference for many people who are looking to come back to Jamaica, and some of them have indicated their anxiety or their worry or their concern for the crime rate in Jamaica. And of course, our crime rate, if you go on to worldpopulationreview.com, you will see the rankings for the different years when they post them for the crime rate with countries across the world. They typically do 197 countries, and so you can go on there and have a look. Now, the previous one that they did, I believe, was 2020 from their statistics, and on that one Jamaica was ranked in the top 10. So Jamaica was in position 10 in the top 10, and this time round for 2024 Jamaica has slipped down a position, and they are now in position 11. Now the index, the crime index and the safety index normally add together to make 100, and that gives you an idea of what the crime index for Jamaica is at current state. Now, the thing here to take with this is the understanding that for some of the countries, even countries in Europe that are considered to be rather peaceful countries, have crime index of 40s and high 40s as well. And so we need to take that into consideration, that crime is a thing that is now everywhere, because there are so many factors that leads into crime. I believe on this channel we have addressed the crime index of Jamaica from just about every angle. And so at this moment, we just have to make sure that we examine it and see. You know, there are several other Caribbean countries who've ranked high as well, not justifying the crime rate, but it's just so that you can have a contextual picture of the circumstance and the situation where that is concerned. The key thing about that is to just try and make sure that you give good consideration to where in Jamaica you're going to be living, where you're going to take your family. It's just the same as in other countries where you give consideration to where you're going to live, where you're going to take your family, so that you can feel safe. The same possibilities are here in Jamaica for you to be able to find places that you can move to and take your family and still feel safe. It's just about the due diligence of doing the work, because we hear stories from people who don't live in America, for example. They hear stories about it and consider it to be a place that would probably be unsafe for them. However, there are people living there who have no issue with their safety. In the UK, we hear often about knife crimes, and there are people who are living there who have no concern for their safety. So it's about just getting to a place where you understand that crime is going to be present. From I was a little child growing up, I would hear about crime rate in Jamaica and violent gangs in different parts of the country. And sadly, that has not changed as drastically as we would have hoped. And we know by now, if you don't, then you should try and just have a little read of one of the statistics page that actually gives some indication as to what are some of the things that contributes to crime and the crime index. Because the fact of the matter is, we're not going to talk it away, okay? We do need to get it reduced, and we need to look at strategies and approaches that we all as Jamaicans work through to ensure that it is reduced. Until then, we just need to be conscious about the context and try and see how best we can find places where we can be safe, and then try and see how we can influence environment around us to try and create a better safety and more awareness of how to make our environment safe wherever we are living. The final bit that I wanted to say that to consider is with regards to healthcare, where people talk about that consistently, and at some point you're going to need good healthcare. And so in terms of healthcare provision, there are very good healthcare in Jamaica. It's about recognizing what the needs are. It is improving, and there are new provisions that are being made constantly. What I would suggest that people do is to try and see if they can investigate about their own specific medical needs and how that can be met on the island, and then make their decision about what they're going to do in terms of those actions that are required. I will be doing a video concerning emergency and trauma. There is a subscriber who have said something about it previously, and I alluded to it in one of the videos I did in the summer. I think it was one of them where my sister and I, we were in Emancipation Park and we were talking, and so there was a video there that we talked about it briefly. And I have spoken about the healthcare and the different provisions that are available in detail on one of the videos from Moving to Jamaica series. However, I am putting together a video that I will go into more detail about some of the provisions that are available here in the healthcare system, and also highlighting on the issues of emergency and trauma, which was something that people wanted to know a little bit more about. So bear with me as I work through that one and get through some of those information to you with regards to that. In the meantime, I just want to say to you, if Jamaica is where you actually want to move back to, and you're living in a country where you feel as though you want to go back home, either because you're homesick or you feel that it's high time that you do so, what I would suggest you do is just visit your country for a period of time. Give yourself about a 3 months visit to Jamaica and just see what life would be like. You can book an Airbnb, or you can do another short-term rental or something of that sort, so that you give yourself an idea of what it would be like to go through the day-to-day process of living in Jamaica, and then from there be able to do all of the research that you need, the high points that's on your list that you need addressing, and then try and see how you can fix and address that. Because sometimes you do the research, and not until you're on the ground and actually going through the process do you actually spot some of the things that you additionally needed to investigate. And had you taken that time, you would have been able to do that. As I've said before on a previous video, some people are making the choice to come here for short spells throughout the year or over a period of time so that they can acclimatize themselves to the Jamaican landscape, which will then make it easier for them when they come to the final decision. One of our subscribers from the UK says that he's going to start to do 6 months in Jamaica, 6 months in the UK, and he will come here at the winter time and then go back to the UK in the summertime, so that he's enjoying the best of both worlds in terms of the temperature condition for his age currently, as he's planning out his exit over the next few years. And then by then he would have had enough experience in Jamaica to set himself up in the way he wants to be set up, and then be able to make the move to come back, because then he would have been used to what life would be like living in Jamaica. And so it's worth contemplating, if that's something you want to do, to just put the investment in it and do the delayed gratification by doing the work now and enjoying the benefits of it later on. At the end of it, it's up to you whether you decide that you want to move back to your home country, Jamaica. And if that is what you want to do, then these are some of the things that I actually would consider and make a priority for me planning to come back to Jamaica at this point.
In today's video, I'm going to be making Japanese pancakes. So these are the ingredients that you'll be needing. So you'll need 2 eggs, sugar, milk, vanilla, vegetable oil, or any cooking oil. You'll need all-purpose flour, a frying pan, and a lid. You'll need either an electric whisk or a handheld whisk, or like a manual whisk. You need, and obviously a mixing tool. Put them to steam, so I'll be back to show you. I flipped it, so it should be ready soon. End results, I had extra batter, so I decided to make circles, and these are the gingerbread men. It's not perfect, but I think it's good for my first try, so I don't know what I'm going to eat it with yet, so I'll figure that out later. The Jam family, where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam family, the Jam family, yeah. Jam fam, come hang with me. The Jam family, where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam family, the Jam family, yeah. Jam fam, come hang with me.
Thank you for staying with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fam. It was a privilege spending this time with you, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for coming on and expressing to us some of the things that are your anxieties, some of the things that are your worries, some of the information that you would want. And as usual, we try our best to see how we can get those to you. And we thank you for the comments that we're having in the comment section, that interaction. We're trying to provide you with the information and responding to your questions as much as we can. And so we hope that you are finding that beneficial, and it's been helpful to you, to help you with your plans. We can see from some of the comments we've had that the things that we talk about in the videos are impactful for people who are looking to move back to Jamaica, and we appreciate you giving us the feedback, so we know that we are actually giving information that people find not just informative, but information that they can use and run with and help them in their plan of return as they decide to move back to their home country, whether that's Jamaica or elsewhere. Thank you for staying with us again. Bye for now, and we will see you in the next one.